Hello everyone, it's me Clayton. I just finished watching episode 24 of Young Justice Phantoms. And with all the plot points of the season finally coming to a head, it seems that while the team is struggling to get Superboy to go back to their team, it seems that the criminals of Zod have found a way out and are actually going to meet Lord Zod, which this is all part of his master plan the whole time. Basically, the remaining heroes find that the Kaiser Thrall on Earth is actually housing the brain of a human boy named Danny Chase. Turns out the Apocalyptans kidnapped Danny Chase, cut out his brain, and put it into a box. Honestly, it kind of feels like their MO at this point. I mean, they're ruled by Darkseid, for God's sake. But let's move on. Basically, Miss Martian finds out that Connor Kent is still alive and inside the Phantom Zone thanks to Phantom Girl telling her about it after she told the Mars Prince about it. Unfortunately, she can't really transport Miss Martian over to the Phantom Zone directly, so they have to use a boom tube in order to do that. Unfortunately, the team also has to fight off various Zod criminals, and they can't do it with indirect weapons or with indirect magic spells. They can only do it with direct attacks and hand-to-hand combat, and even then they get overwhelmed. And even the kryptonite weakness doesn't work on them while in the Phantom Zone. So they have to essentially hide for the time being, while the boom tube allows the Zod criminals to get out, and it allows Lord Zod to finally achieve the part of his plan that he was so desperate to complete this entire time. And after waiting weeks and weeks for said plan to be finished, I kind of see where he's going with this, but at the same time it seems that his father does not approve of his methods. So I am wondering how this is going to go down between father, son, and mother when we get to the next week. But with only 2 episodes left to go, this does seem like it's enough time to give us a good action-packed climax right before we roll credits and, I guess, before they set up a 5th season, which I don't know if it'll happen at this point. This season has been pretty much all over the place, both in terms of quality and storylines, but I wouldn't say it's as jumbled or as inconsistent as Season 3. And the latter part of the season's animation is legitimately good enough to be up there with the Young Justice standard. But I would also say that perhaps this is just jumbling too many storylines and too many different characters for people to really get invested at this point. And that's the problem with an ever-expanding cast. When there are so many people to focus on and so many people who require storylines, it can be easy to lose sight of what's truly important and what isn't, and it can feel like that the season's overstuffed and generally overworking itself. And honestly, DC's had that problem in various comic storylines in the past, too. Granted, Young Justice has always had good writing and good voice acting to help carry through a lot of these stories, but even that can only work so far when you only have 26 episodes to cram this story that feels like it needs 50. I know that sounds weird coming from someone who watches a lot of anime, but at the same time, this does feel as sprawling as a big anime when it comes down to how it handles things. So I have no idea how they'll handle the climax of this arc, but I am interested in seeing how it goes. But I'm not sure how my rating for the series will even be once we get to the finish line. See you next time.